Yes, hello and welcome everyone. Welcome to the 18th International Testimonial Meeting. Today is Monday, the 14th of May 2018, and your hosts tonight will be Willie Ostley and myself, Danny Moe. We're very happy today because this is the first time we're doing a live stream as well, and we're streaming from Facebook as well. So um, we're growing. And it's wonderful to have you here again and to hear from your experiments, your experiences in all areas of the Keshe technology. And I'll say hello to Willie. Are you there?
Yes, Danny. Hello, hello.
Hi, Willie.
How are we all?
I think we're good. Sun is shining here, so it couldn't be better.
Great.
Let's start. Anybody who's burning to start, because I know we have today our friends from Romania as well who would like to share something with us. And we'll see who else would like to share with us. You can raise your hand or leave a message in the chat or open your microphone. Thank you and welcome. Anyone like to start? Dan, is there something you would like to share with us?
I don't know, crystallization of my inside Gans because one piece of rust it's taken down in, and from time to time I look in my bottle of Gans for the interaction of what happened. I have a picture in my page of Facebook, or perhaps Adrian like to show something, but I need someone translate better. I don't know. You decide.
Sorry, you were saying you have pictures or do you want to show films from your Facebook site? Is that what you're saying?
Mm, picture, or in if you want. Like I have one little video of
Hmm.
plasma agriculture.
Yeah, I remember you showed something last time, Dan. If you have pictures, that'd be great. If you can start with the pictures, we'll have a look at them. Is that possible for you, or do you need a moment and we'll
Just a
see?
moment for opening my Facebook.
Okay, so we'll give you some time to get ready and see if somebody else would like to start. Is that okay with you, Dan?
Yes,
So you have enough time?
yes.
Okay, thank you. Now, who would like to start before we hear from Dan? Anybody like to speak about their experiences, their experiments? You're all more than welcome to open your microphone now.
Very quiet people out there, right?
Yeah, maybe we should just sit down and go all to the beach, huh? But I'm sure there's some good experiments out there, and
Yeah.
um, people are a bit shy maybe to start, which I understand. Um,
We only need an icebreaker.
we need an icebreaker.
Yeah. But meanwhile, we're waiting. Maybe it will be possible because Dan asked for someone to maybe translate from Romanian to English. Maybe Marin.
Oh,
Be
okay. Who would that be? Sorry.
Martin. Maybe if he could be kind enough to assist Dan when he's speaking.
Martin?
No, Martin.
Oh, Maureen, sorry.
Yeah, Martin. Sorry, but maybe he's not listening right now.
Hello everyone. I listen, but I'm a little bit tired. I try to help if I can.
Okay, thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Okay.
Do you have any experiments going, Jalal?
Me, yes, always.
Yeah, maybe you can show something.
Hands, the new reactor with the hand, and I noticed something, but it's in the beginning. This is only in the beginning, and I practiced yesterday and day before yesterday, and especially in the night when there is a little bit light, not focused light, you will see a lot of movement in between. It was beautiful. And Willie, I think you're reading my mind, because yeah, really, because I'm thinking that how can I show this experiment?
Yes.
But if you allow me later, maybe I can show how the people can practice that, and it is very easy, and in the same time it's very beautiful.
Yeah, that would be nice. Don't you think, Danny?
Uh,
Absolutely, yes. You're icebreaker. Come on, Jalal, show us what you're
my,
working on. You're on
Danny,
the hook now.
yeah, you are hooking me all the time.
Yeah, I know you said a little bit later, Jalal. So
Okay, give me just 5-10 minutes and I will join you
Okay.
with the camera and everything. Okay, thank you.
We have a lot of people who want to be second, but nobody wants to start.
yep, that's the thing. Who else is here to show something? Ah, Dan is back now.
Sorry for this delay. I have one experiment of plasma agriculture. I put the seed of tomato in the CO2 and xeno Gans for 2 days, now 1 night and 1 day, and I plant. And after uh, 2 weeks, 1 week, it nothing. It's like a ground. And after 1 week, I see what's happened and growing. Uh, Sharing weight sound better. It's
Yes,
maybe
if you don't have any music on it, it's okay. But
no, I think it's not.
okay,
I reshare for better sound. Share, better audio.
On the bottom of the left part of your screen, share computer sound.
Thanks. There you go. I don't speak very good English, but I hope you understand me. I have a seed. It's in CO2 and zinc oxide for 24 hours. And now I plant here. Let's see. It's frame of video or for seeing how fast growing. After 2 weeks. My connection. Hi, I'm back after 2 weeks in Saturday. It's it not it not how to say uh, mm, after 1 week nothing, and yesterday I see every seed it's growing, and after 1 day, perhaps tomorrow, I put outside. It's only seeds treats with CO2 and zinc oxide. Okay.
I have a question for you, Dan, if I may. That was only 2 days growth?
No, it's after 2 weeks. In one first 2 weeks, nothing. It's not happened. Nothing. After
Okay.
1 week, it's it's growing faster. I noticed that Saturday, it's nothing. It's empty, and after a few days, I see this result. I put a plant outside, and I make another picture for seeing how it's growing in another week.
Perfect. That's great.
For Christians, let Angelo begin, or Adrian, or somebody else.
I don't think I understood what you said, Dan. Dan, you want someone to also show on the Romanian team?
I'm not sure I understand your question.
I guess we don't know.
Vrei să prezinte altcineva în locul tău mai departe?
Dacă vrea, da. If you want, yes. For no speaking time.
Tu vrei să prezinți, vrei să pregătești ceva, mai ai ceva de prezentat pentru ceilalți? Do you have something else to present for others? Dan, înțelegi? Mai ai ceva de prezentat pentru ceilalți?
For now, lasă-i pe ceilalți. For now, it's enough.
Okay. He don't have.
That's great. Thank you, Dan. So we're just waiting now for the tomato plants to grow, yeah? And I'm sure you're going to update us on that. Thank you.
So I am ready if no one.
Brilliant. Thank you, Jalal.
Yes.
So Jalal, you sharing your camera or are you showing pictures or?
No, I'm sharing live.
Oh, fantastic.
Okay. Let me take this
Can you
one.
explain what you're sharing with us, please?
Yes, of course. This is teaching, live teaching.
Yeah.
Okay, let me take this one out. Okay. All of you are working with Ganses, and Ganses, it's plasma, and always you are looking for a fields in all your experiment. So now your body is contained of plasma and it is alive. Now we are going to teach you how to feel the fields and see the fields only with your hands. And you don't need reactors like this one or another one, because you already have this reactor in your hands. Do you hear me? Okay.
Perfectly.
Good. Okay. Now, please, all of you, we are doing this experiment live. So do it with me. You don't need to wait 1 day, 2 days, 3 days. This is second by second, you will notice these things. Okay. As we know, in the nano-coated wires, Mr. Keshe always teach us that it's better that the coil is returned to itself. That gives energy. And from the teaching of Mr. Keshe, that your hand, it contains physicality and emotion. So the fingers have 3 parts of them is for emotion and 2 parts is for physicality. So right hand, you turn the small one, the second one to itself and hold it. Left one is the same thing and hold it. And then you start the star formation. This is 1 reactor. This is 2nd reactor. This is 3rd reactor. And here is the 4th reactor. You must understand that. You don't need to build star formation. You have already star formation in your hand. So physicality back to itself, because whatever energy come out from here must be returned to the source. So you have this star formation 3 like this. Now when you are do it both of them, it's up to you how to put your fingers back, forth, up, wide. So only you need to take them in this shape like this. For me, I am starting from small gap to wider gap, and then I can feel the fields. When you start, you will notice the fields is here everywhere, especially in this formation. When you just settle your hand, don't move it too much, and try to concentrate only what you feel in your hand. And then you will notice there is something between them. So I will not tell you what I notice because I don't want to force something on you. I will tell you in 2-3 minutes. But just you self try to figure out what is the feeling and what you notice. And then I will tell you what I noticed. Because before I already worked with my 2 hands and I can feel the fields between them. But the whole hand contained the emotion and the physicality. So the fields, it's different. But now, when you join your fingers like this, and you put your reactors in one shape, whatever you shape you like, because you have more than 1,000 positions in here. This is live reactor. It's what you are giving, what you are receiving, how you are interacting between left and right hand. And with this 1,000 position, also your feeling, your emotion is working also with that. 1,000 position with love, 1,000 position with anger, 1,000 position with whatever feeling you have. This is life practice. You can practice it so forth and now, and you will feel it in 1 minute. I am telling you, in 1 minute. But you need to only to become, concentrate in your 3 reactors, because the 3 reactors with the 4th one inside will make a free field. The free field is the soul of these 4 reactors. This is the true science of Mr. Keshe. For all these years, we are working with plasma of matter, plasma of gases. Now we are working with the fields, and your body contained all the plasma what you need. You can do like this, instruction the field, whatever you want to take or to give. And this is coming in the next days. It's up to you. So I will tell you what I noticed. First, when I work with it, after a while, it's the same thing when I have this magnets, exactly like this. It's repels. These hands, when you focus and leave it without any intention, your field here and your field here will interact with together, and you feel like you are catching a ball. When you squeeze here, this one will move. When you squeeze here, this one will move, the right hand. And you can make it grow. Yesterday I went to this gap about 40 centimeters, and still, because as if I am creating this huge ball. Day before yesterday, I was in the car waiting, and the light was not much in the car because I was near a building, and I said, because I'm waiting for someone, I said, okay, let me practice this one. So when I done it, I saw something. What I saw, it's very beautiful, and I saw two things. I saw the ray of the fingers, and I saw a field, and this field like steam of water. You know, when you see the what do you call it in English, Danny?
Vapor?
Yeah,
The vapor?
yeah, exactly. The vapor of the water. But this one is not going like this up. This one, this vapor is going from this hand to this hand together. And this is what in night, and with little bit dim light, not direct in my hand. And don't look at it, look behind it. Leave the hand here and you look here in this position. So you don't look direct to the hand. And then you will see the rays of your fingers, these reactors, and also you see this vapor. I didn't, Mr. Keshe said, if you do like this in one position, it's like this or this, you will figure this out, how you make a light. Because this is interaction between this reactor, this reactor is complete. Everything is in it, everything. Electricity, communication, the soul, dynamic, all the gases, all the reactors, interaction between the gases, it's here, inside it. From hydrogen to plutonium. It's inside your body, because your body contains all these elements. So, if I am you, I will go with this one, if I can, every hour, 10 minutes. Because this is really something you don't hear about it, you practice it yourself. And you don't need to wait 1 week, 2 weeks, 1 month to see it grow. You can grow it in the moment, in 1 minute. After 1 minute, you must notice something. Just if I put it like this, I notice some feelings here. Just I put it like this. And I'm sure you are like me. Maybe you feel some heat, maybe you feel, but you will feel the pressure 100%. If you leave it for 5, 6, 7, 8, 10 minutes like this in one position, and then if you want to take it out, you cannot. It's as if it's joined together. And if you push, as if you are pushing in a balloon. If you push this balloon on this side, this one will go like this. You will feel it yourself. And this is your reactor. Your reactor will give you everything you like. But maybe in this 1 minute, maybe after 1 year, because you need to work with the ethos of the foundation. Ethos of the foundation that you give. This is only to show you that you can give. It's not show you that you can take. Whatever you build that it can show you how to give. And this is the main teaching of Mr. Keshe. And when you give, exactly, you are changing, guys. When you give, you are changing old with a new. There is no loss in giving because you already have it and it is old. Minimum, every one of us is 20, 30, 45, 50 years. He's having this fields in his body. So take out this field, give it, but give it with love. Give it without any acceptation. You don't need return because your body will generate this new, like when you give blood to the hospital. You give old blood, and your body will generate a new blood cells. And this is the beauty in this teaching. You don't need to go physicality, you go with your feels, with your emotion, with your heart. And I hope in today's session of testimonial, I will hear some feedback of this, because I am sure 100%, all of you will have it in maximum 5-10 minutes, because you need 5 minutes minimum to feel something in your hand. And any question, I am here whenever and whatever. Thank you.
Jalal, for my experience, hi, son, I'm Daniel from Romania. For my experience, I help with screen screen white or background. It's not perfect. It's like black and white or something where you see like a heat field. I see after a modern day when Adrian in the meeting of Romania, Keshe, Romania, I see 13. I see this field in turn of reactor of star formation of Adrian. After I change, I see in turn of reactor of Angelo. When I backing home, I construct one coil. I hang it in one piece of rod, and with my intention, my hand, I'm moving, turning in left, right, in right side, and yes, I this exercise when you're in another teaching testimonial, you are showing. I try to replicate and exercise with field, and when I look behind image, behind physics, I see my in turn of my fingers, my hand field. I see in turn of things like a heat, like a vapor. What do you say? When it's hot summer, no, you looking with in road. No, you see like a water flow.
Look, I will tell you, if you go outside in the night and there is behind you a light, background light behind you, and you point your fingers, these 3 fingers, just point it and don't look to the fingers. Just go above it and you will see the ray of your 3 fingers, because I saw it. I noticed it more than 2-3 meters. And when I draw the 2 right hand and left hand, I can point to more than 3-4 meters. I can see the joining of the rays of the field. It is like a ray, exactly like, you know, this laser beam, the red one, but this is not red. This is white, not exactly white. What do you call it? This one?
Shiny milk.
Transparent white. It is like this. And this was before with the hand, but now with this reactors is also there's different feelings and different sighting also.
Jalal, can I ask you a question?
Yes, please.
Do you feel the vibration of the nerve endings in your fingers?
Yes.
Or forearms, or in energetic center, in the center of the palms?
Let me show you where I see
some tingling sensation.
Yes.
Okay.
All of that. Before, with my hands, I feel the tingling here all the time, and when I point my hand before, I see I feel the tingling here, and I practice with the Ganses, with the coil. I can feel the flow like an air when I put my hand, for especially in the left hand. That's before, but when I use this method, and this is from Mr. Keshe teaching in the private teaching, the sensation is very different. I can feel tingling, and especially when I do like this tingling gets here so quick. It's amazing. Before I wait, maybe I practice it before. It was 2 minutes, then 1 minute, then like this, 30 seconds, 20 seconds. But exactly when I do now like this, I feel the tingling all over here, all over. And when I move the hand up and down, I can, even when my eye is closed, I can feel where is my position, where is the finger, and I open my eye. I know exactly where is this pointing, where, in which direction also, or this one or this one. But you need to, you know, to position your fingers. It is for at your physicality. I cannot telling you that your position is like this, because I told you it is more than 1,000 position in this thing, and also your emotion is playing too much role in that. What you want to achieve, why you are doing that. When I'm thinking, I am thinking on one thing, only one thing. I want to achieve, to give. That's all. This is my
intention.
Yes, this is my intention.
Mr. Keshe says that when there is a flow of the fields, you can have a warm or cold sensation. Do you feel that?
You know, yesterday I went to this practice, but it was a night, and I want to try it again today. I have temperature measurement, electronic measurement. I want to try to measure the heat of the water before I do this experiment, and I want to see it after the experiment. I'm going to to do that. I tried to move this ball yesterday. Look, sometimes this crazy ideas that you achieve something, but actually I achieved something. I know the fields. I can just before 2 or 3 days, I am playing with this fields, and I didn't practice too much because I am all the day at work. Only at night I am here, and I am in it. I am in this path. In this way, I am going to practice. I am practice all the time, everywhere, and whenever I remember it. So I will achieve that. And the heat, I told you, day before yesterday, I saw this the vapor of the water. I can see it. You know, this faraway mirage. It's the same thing, but more, because it's going from here, from this hand to this hand, all over, and you will see it. And I'm going to see this, the temperature of this water. I will practice with that, and I will see what happens. And maybe you can give us feedback in this issue, in this matter.
Maybe it helps you to paint the ball to see when the ball it's move or rotating.
Actually, I don't want it to move.
Okay, then.
Really, I don't want it. Just now, I don't want it to move, because if it will move, I will be crazy. I will do so many different things. But I am practicing to have my own reactor working, and this is the important thing. It's working for me, and I'm sure with the time it will be more efficient, because I saw something and I felt something, and this is from Mr. Keshe teaching. This is not me who's bringing that up. No, Mr. Keshe told in the private teaching, put your fingers like this and start to play with your fingers, because this fingers is the emotion fingers. This is 3 reactors, and this is the joint of them. This is the 4 reactors here. So you have star formation. So you don't need to build star formation with all these motors and all this electricity, and maybe it's failed here and here. So you have it. Why you go 1,000 miles back? So you have it already. You have this reactor. Play with the reactor. If I give you now star formation reactor, and you can position it whatever you want, how much time you want, you need at least 2 days only to fix the star formation. And you need to supply it with the power, you need to supply it with the plasma, and you need to put nano-coated up and down, and all of these things. So you have everything here in your hand, everything in your hand. And Mr. Keshe is in his teaching, he said, your attention and your body is working perfect because they are together. From your attention, this hand built. So I don't need more than that. I just needed one person to tell me that I have everything. So I have. And now I'm going to practice like this. I have star formation. I don't need to buy, and I don't need to waste time, and I don't need to make any ganses, because I have 65 kilo of ganses, all kinds.
Thank you very much for your explanation.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Jalal,
Yes.
it's Barbara. I want to show you a picture from my daughter, or two or three pictures, because she is moving her hand from the, let's say about 30 or 40 centimeters away from her body, from her stomach, or yes, from her, what you call, panzer, from her stomach, like, let's say like this. And she is always moving, coming back and forward. Now I can only show the picture and how she is, her hand holding, if you want to see.
Yes, please.
So I have to.
And I want to add something to the guys who is hearing and practicing this. You can also connect it to any chakra you have. If you know about chakras in your body, there is also reactors, there is chakras, and you can also play with your hand with your chakras, and also you will see something, you will feel something also.
Also try to work with the high heart.
Yeah, the heart is beautiful.
With the high heart.
Okay.
Can you see it now, the picture?
Yes, yes.
This is one. The left hand, it's up, and it's always the right hand which she's using. She's handicapped and she doesn't speak and she doesn't see and a lot of things.
It's beautiful.
And she has a pain in her stomach sometimes because of the air in her stomach or anywhere in her front part. She's not crying, she's somehow singing, like sitting there. And
can I suggest something, Barbara, please?
Please, that's why I'm showing you.
Okay. Can you sit in front of her and you make this star formation? And
with my hand, you mean?
Yes, your hand.
Yeah, yeah.
And try to interact with the fields of her body or her hand. Because look, what she have from fields, you will not believe it. I came through same situation before 1 year, and I don't know anything about fields, but I know about Ganses, but I didn't notice that we interact. But really, I came across one person, beautiful person like your daughter, and she emitted so much energy. Really, you cannot believe it. Only when you are thinking in this way. If any person, normal person, comes through her or walking beside her, he will not notice because he have different mind thinking. Now, from Mr. Keshe teaching, we have a different thinking, and this is the beauty, that we are caring about every entity. And when we see such a beautiful human being, he have so much power, amazing. You can feel it direct. Only when, if now you have this in your mind that you have this reactor and you can interact with her. You can give her and you can take from her the pain also. But try it. Try just sit with her in the front of her or side of her and interact also with the hands. But you are focusing in your reactor, 2 reactors. And you will see something.
She also sometimes takes my hand and put it on her back part on the head, on top of the head, but in the back part. So
there is so much message in this, but unfortunately, we are new in this field. It's beautiful, Barbara. Thank you. It's very beautiful. If you notice her leg, look to her fingers.
Yes. And you know, you some weeks ago, you showed us a small video where you moved with your hand the ball on your
Yeah,
on your
yes,
generator.
yes, that is
And
the
that's the time it reminds me to her movement of the hand. That's the same movement as you did with the ball, going far and back, not always the same distance. Like she's feeling where is the energy I
yes,
can put to
yes.
my body, or I don't know what exactly the idea is, but
Go,
it's
go, go,
very
go,
clear.
go with this one. Now you will speak with her the same language of the
Yes,
fields.
yes. I
It's
try my
beautiful,
best.
Barbara. It's beautiful. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay.
Thank you, Danny.
Thank you, Jalal, and thank you, Barbara. That was wonderful. Thank you very much. So we have something to experiment with now, and I like these hands-on experiments that we can do ourselves and confirm the fields and whatever we would like to know about. Brilliant. Thank you very much. I know we have Angelo who would like to share something with us. Angelo, can you hear us?
Yes. Hi,
Fantastic.
Danny.
Hi, how are you, Angelo? Brilliant.
Thank you. I'm great. I hope everybody is in a great mood. So,
Thank you. What would you like to share with us?
I will share some results and some experiments we did about some weeks ago. As some of you know, we had a meeting, practical and experience and a lot of things.
Angelo, do you want to tell us what area you're experimenting with and what you're occupying yourself with?
Yes, of course. For them who don't know me, my name is Angelo Daul. I'm from Romania, and personally, I make a lot of experiments in how can I say it, in a lot of plasma areas. I make experiments in the area of power generation, in some health applications. Also, now I am working on some applications and experiments regarding flight systems, and I have a lot of time in studying the fields. But this is a very long and complicated area, but it's a very interesting area. I have a lot to learn in this segment, but I think it's very important to understand the action and creation of fields and interaction of fields to be able to make some great steps in some bigger steps in researching the flight. So, in a nutshell, it's this is the area of my interest, and I want to share, as I said, some results from this meeting, mostly in let's say health application, because in this meeting we have also some personalities invited. They are not plasma specialists, or they are not from, let's say, from us. Yeah, they are independent, some doctors, and we did some experiments, and we have some results. The interpretation is quite complicated, if I can say so. but the results are interesting. But also we must have a lot of understanding to be able to comprehend this and to be able to explain these results. So
I have a question for you, Angelo.
Yeah.
Are you going to show pictures? Because I can give you the screen. If okay.
Yes, so mainly before I share the pictures, I want to say some words about how these experiments was made. We used, especially a doctor of us, who was invited, used I don't know, BOL. It is its name. It is an apparatus, yeah, which measures the bioenergetic fields and strength of the fingers, of every finger. And with the complicated software, it makes a lot of pictures from chakras, from aura, and so and so. It's complicated software, but I selected just some results to not make it this very complicated. And the experiment was that we make our measurements, like let's see a reference measurement, and after then we pick up some device, some plasma device, and interacting a time with this device, we repeated this measurement. But what I have to say before is that sorely everybody who make these measurements were interacting from the beginning with a lot of devices. So probably the first measurement that we say it is the reference measurement, it's not really the reference, cannot called a reference, because we were not fresh, yeah. So we had interacted before with a lot of devices, but at the first measurement we were about 30-40 meters from all devices apart. We made the meditation before to chill down, to and after then we pick up a device, we interact with it, and after then we repeated the measurements. And I want to show some results. Maybe you will also understand a lot of happenings, but also a lot of questions, of course. Oh, it's not okay. Just a moment. Okay, I will share now. So the first candidate I want to show, the first results I want to show are made, like I said, in this manner, and the device with them, the prospect has interactive was this from the picture, if you can see it. It is a tubular maggraph system with two pumps, electric pumps, and two pipes. One of the pipe is filled with CO2 Gans with water, of course. It's liquid plasma, but with a little bit of Gans. And the other hose is filled with zinc oxide plasma water with some Gans, of course. And in this case, the interaction with this device was about 7 to 9 minutes between the two measurements. But also in this time, the prospect have chosen to make a clear wish and to repeat this wish in his mind. So it was a stronger interaction between the plasma fields, but also the intention. So, yeah. Okay. So if we look the chakra alignment, on the left side, we can see the measurement, the first measurement. This means without interaction with the device. On the right side, we can see the same measurement after interacting 8 or 9 minutes with this plasma device. As you can see, the alignment improved a lot. You can see on the first measurement, the alignment was 69%. After then, the second measurement, the alignment was 84%. So, in the opinion of the doctor, it's not my opinion because I'm not a doctor, so I'm not a specialist in this domain. But in the opinion of the doctor, this was a very big improvement in such a short time. Also, here you can see another chart with the measurements. Normally there are 3 measurements, but we don't take the second measurement. Everything is with blue, you can see, because the second measurement was a very stressful measurement. It means you can see the stress factor was very high because the patient had a lot of talk about this emotional background of his imbalance. And yes, this is not every time a very how to say this, it's not very easy. So the stress factor was very improved. So practical, we take the first measurement with orange, and then the last measurement with green, because between these two, the patient has interact with this plasma device. As you can see, on the first line, we measured the stress. So the first measurement was 2.93, and the last measurement was 3.09, a little bit higher, but not very. We can see the energy, the body energy On the first measurement, on the reference measurement, it was 50.95. On the last measurement, it was 52.81. It was improved. The left-right symmetry of the energies have also improved a lot, from 81.6 to 96.47. And also we can see a very good improvement in the organs balance, which on the first measurement was 79, and in the last measurement was 87. So it is a big improvement.
Sorry, Angelo, this was a biofeedback measurement device, yeah?
Yes, of course.
Okay, all right. And the picture you're showing now, that would be the Kilian photography, correct?
It is something like, but it is with the same device made. So
Okay.
the software made it. We don't have this Kilian device. So as you can see, the left one, the first one is the reference. The second one is the stressed one, so it's not not very good. And the last one is after interacting with the device. The energy was 50 joules at the beginning, and after interacting was 52 joules. And the balance was 82% at the beginning and improved to 96% after interacting. The same energy field, the aura, if I can say so, from the, I don't know exactly which side. I don't know if you see it somewhere up on the screen in the left side. It must have to maybe you can see it. I cannot see it because I have this mute, stop share, and everything, other buttons on my screen. And this is the third interpretation. Also, you can see an improvement between the left side and the right side. It's a little bit more balanced. So this was the device. This was one of the prospects. So we go further to.
And what is that interesting device you have there on the picture? The one we're looking at now.
Which one of them? This in the center or this in?
Yes. Oh, they're different ones. I thought they're all connected somehow.
No. It was an oscilloscope on the table. This blue one. But this is the plasma device in the middle. I spoke about it a little bit earlier. These two rings, these two hoses with plasma water inside and with two pumps, electric pumps. So this water is circulated in these hoses. Also in the hose, it is a nano-coated copper, not plate, something, I don't know how to say it in English.
Spiral.
Is it a wire or?
No, it's not a wire, it's a...
It's spiral, helicoidal.
Yes, it is a spiral, exactly.
A coil, okay, or spiral. Mm-hmm.
It's like a coil. To turbulate this plasma water. And here down on the left side, in the left corner, is a device. I don't know exactly what the name of it is.
Eggery wheel.
Exactly. It is a very sensible device that can show us the flow of the fields.
Thank you.
Okay, so this was prospect number 1. Yeah, I will stop share and go to the other.
I construct on my own house when they turn away the meeting.
I do not understand you, Marius. Dan.
Mi-am construit și eu my equipment for training fields.
Okay.
I'll show you after to your presentation.
Okay. So we go further to the second experiment. Basically, it's the same manner, but with another device. So this is another device which is made from 2 double reactors filled with CO2 and zinc oxide liquid plasma with some Gans. This is reactor number 1. This is reactor number 2. And the prospects sit between the 2, as you can see. Okay.
Do they, sorry, interrupting you there, you were saying it's a double reactor, so there's a ball within the ball?
Exactly.
And one of them contains zinc oxide and Gans, and the other one's CO2 and Gans, is that correct?
Yes, it is correct. And these are made in the mirror. So in this, for example, is the inner core is CO2 and the outer core is zinc oxide. And in the other one, this one is exactly in mirror. The inside is zinc oxide Gans, and the outside is CO2 Gans.
Ah, yeah, okay, thank you.
You're welcome. So after about 10 minutes sitting between these 2 reactors, but without specific intention, just balancing the fields, we can see also the interpretation of the chakras. The alignment improved, as you can see. In the beginning it was 84%, and after sitting between these 2 reactors, the alignment was 87%.
So these colored balls should be going towards the middle line, is that correct?
Yes.
Angela? Okay.
It will be perfect. Optimal.
So we can see how far apart they are from the middle line.
Yes.
On the left picture and then on the right.
Yes.
Okay.
I chose just these representative pictures because, as I said, the data provided is very it's a lot of data, so it is about 30 pages for each patient. The dimension of these chakras, the opening of them, everything is measured and in this. So in the whole measurement we have all this data, but I picked up just some pictures that maybe it is a little bit easier to understand and to see what is about it. But also, as I said, it's not just the alignment, it's also about the dimension of them and the opening of them and a lot of other data. But we can see here that the alignment was improved. Then here we have chart of every organ, as you can see, with every energy of them, but I don't want to enter very deep in this. But the first measurement is the measurement with orange. Yeah, it was at 70-30, and the second measurement was made at 18. clock. So half an hour distance between the two measurements. So
this looks a bit like the eyes now, like two eyes, or is that just accidental?
No, it is the chart is so
okay.
made.
Mm-hmm.
So here is accentuated the orange, the first measurement, and with blue is the second measurement. And here is accentuated the blue. That means the second measurement versus the first measurement, which is with orange here in the center, this line. Yeah. So, and then the same chart, as you can see, at the first measurement, the stress factor was a little bit higher than the second measurement. On the second measurement, the patient was calmer. It's dropped from 2.27 to 2.25. But in an interesting way, the energy level is also dropped a little bit. At the first measurement, the reference measurement, the energy level was 63. And at the second measurement, it was about 61. We can see the symmetry of the left and the right side. At the beginning, it was 99.20. After then, it was 99.36. Not very big difference, just a little bit. But also we can see in the last line, the organ balance improved from 95 to 95.5. So it's not a very big improvement. Interestingly, in the energy level, it is a little bit of drop. So as you can see, it works somehow different in comparison with the other plasma device. We may say this, but it's not very concludent. Also, as I said, at the first patient, it was an algorithm there. It was an intention, a clear intention that he always repeated in the time of the treatment. In the balancing, it is not a treatment. This is just processing something. This one has not a really clear, defined intention. So it may be the cause also of different results. Also, it may be because of a different system. But important is to see that all these devices have a line of communication with the human body, and it is very visible. And they are not my words, they are the words of this doctor who has thousands of patients in his career. And as he said, until now, he cannot provide so different and so big results in a very, very short time. So he was very impressed to see that actually these devices are working very, very active. So here you can see also the aura fields. Left side is before, right side is after. There are a lot of people who are very good in interpretation of some of these pictures. I'm not one of them, but who really understands can see the improvements also in these pictures. So I will not take very much time here. And we are going to the last case I want to present.
Thank you, Angelo. Angelo, you were saying the person was sitting 20 minutes in between those
10 minutes.
double 10 minutes.
10
Oh, okay.
minutes. Yes. So we'll share again.
That is very interesting to see a reaction after such a couple of minutes, such few minutes.
Yes, this is one of the most enthusiastic points that we have proved. So
Yes.
the third prospect was again handling with this kind of device, yeah. And also he was sitting about 10 minutes with this device, but again without a very specific mantra or a very specific
intention.
Intention, exactly. Thank you. Sorry, but I'm a little bit emotional. So after 10 minutes, we can also see an alignment improvement of the chakras from 84% to 87%. Also, we can see here, for example, all the organ energies. And again, everything is with orange is the first measurement, and everything is with blue is the second measurement. You can see it is a little bit, the blue one is a little bit more centered. It's not so, I don't know how to say, but it's more circular than the orange one. For the eye of persons, they are not very good in this interpretation. And again, we can see this chart before. This means at the first measurement, the stress factor was about 3. After sitting with the device, after 10 minutes, the stress dropped to 2.6. It means the person calmed down. The energy level has dropped a little bit. The first time was 57.6. The second time was 55.5. Interesting. It is again an interesting way, but probably it is a reaction of our body to handle the balance, because we can see the symmetry improved a lot. It means from left-right symmetry of the body energy, we are talking about energy balance. Yes, energy symmetry, energy balance between left and right side. The first measurement, it was 88 about, and the second measurement after sitting with the device was 92.6. So it is a quite good improvement. Also, the organs energy balance has improved from 80.6 to 83.5. But probably this energy dropping is because of the balancing of these fields. I don't know exactly, because I am not a doctor, so sorry, but I'm just viewing the results as much of you the same. The difference between the first prospect and this prospect was that the first had a clear intention and repeated it the whole time. This one has not specific intention and has not repeated it all the time. So this is another difference. Okay, these were the three prospects I want to show.
Fantastic. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. And I want to show something else a little bit in the same domain, but also interesting for us who were there and see it.
Yes, please do so. This is very interesting.
So in this case, the device is, as you can see, something of a mini health system. Yeah, there are two magnetic gravitational health coils, as we know them, and one of them, this one from the left side, has a plasma battery capacitor. Plasma battery, it's better to say this. And this from the right side has a plasma capacitor. They are connected together like in the blueprint. Just you know, in the blueprint for the health system, we have 12 of this kind. In this case, it's just one. It's one slice of the health system, of the big health system, and a little bit different type of battery capacitor. And also we have the draining pan, plasma pan, in a glass of water, in a glass of salt water, with salt water. So mainly this is the device.
This is the small version now. We've seen quite a few large health stations. This is nice that you have made a small version. Beautiful.
So it looks like this. It's the same from another angle. Also the wires between these two panels are nano coated, and here you can see in this case it is used like a draining pen, but you also can use it as a health pen, pain pen, if you apply it in this case. So, and the prospect had some issues in this area, and we put this device, as you can see, on the front and on the back of the person with the draining glass of salt water in the front. It was speaking with the person after this balancing, after this processing, yeah. It was very much the same like in the cases of use on other persons. It means the person was processed about 15 to 20 minutes. It's staying between these two coils, and after about 5 minutes, the pain is a little bit more, but it is a different kind of pain like before. It's more about a consciousness of something happening there, but in the manner of pain, it's a little bit more than before processing. After the processing, normally about 10 to 15 minutes after the processing, the body balances and the pain will be much less than before the processing. So normally it works in this manner. We made a lot of experiments with this type. But the interesting thing that I want to show you is that in the other morning, because this processing was made in the early night, And in the morning, we find Gans in this glass of salt water. As you can see, it is just plasmatic interaction because this coil is completely sealed in this veil. But in the morning, we had some Gans in the glass. Maybe here you can see it a little bit better. The color of the water is bluish because we put some, I don't know in English how it says, tournesol is in Romanian. This is some liquid to test the pH, the alkalinity level of the water. So this is
Litmus.
Yeah.
Litmus indicator, litmus.
Yeah.
LITHMUS.
So the alkalinity was enough high because of the color of the water. You can see it, but on the bottom of this glass, it can clearly see the Gans formed from fields. It's a good question. This is the Gans of the pain. This is the Gans of the energy unbalance of this specific organ we had processed, or it is just the interaction between these two coils. We don't know exactly, but it's nice to see that something materialized in this glass of water. The original color, before we put this chemical in this water, the original color of this Gans was something between a little bit yellow, grayish, greenish. So something between CO2 and green. This was the original color. In this picture, you can not see it very well because the water is a little bit bluish now. But this is the result of processing. Again, for us, it's a big proof to see that the field works, that in a very interesting way, we can make Gans without plates in the water for them who not believe this. And we didn't have two plates. We have just this one coil and the person between the coils, of course. So this was another thing that I want to share. And also,
thank you very much. Wonderful. Yes. Do you have more for us, or is the box empty?
Yes, I have, but some of this you have seen on the public teachings
okay.
About 3 weeks ago when we showed this filming of the Gans reactors.
Oh,
I
yeah.
just want to show maybe some pictures that I didn't have shown them.
Fantastic. Thank you very much, Angelo. And that was a beautiful collection of the work you're looking at the moment. And I'm sure we're gonna hear and see more from you and the whole community. I know you guys are all working on beautiful experiments, everybody in a different area. So thank you very much. Thank you.
You're welcome, and thank you for your time, and thank for all the help, because we was a real team there, and it's much interesting and much better to work in a team as alone, you know. So thanks for everybody who attended that meeting, and yeah, we are on track. I hope maybe from what are you seeing helps somebody. So thank you.
May I still ask something?
Of course.
Angelo, is maybe the Gans you showed to us, could it also be medicine, healing help? Because it is some kind of processed effect of the illness, maybe? And then, fighting the same with the same. In this principle, it could maybe become a medicine also. Just speculation or feeling.
Yeah, it is a good question, a good speculation, if I may say this. I don't know exactly. We are also thinking about a lot of results we had, and it's a little bit hard to process everything we observed and noted in all these experiments. But yes, it can be, but I don't know. I have not this kind of understanding, sorry, but we have to think about it. I also treated my leg. I had an injury in this in the past winter. I have a luxation. I don't know if it is correct. Mai întorsă, dacă mă ajutați.
Thank you. Maybe you can measure the GANs with your radionic device.
Yeah, but it's not my device. Sorry, it is from a doctor, so we have to meet again. But yes, and as I said, in the past winter, I have a twisted ankle or something like this on my feet.
Right.
I twisted my feet, and it was very, very painful. And it was very, I don't know, maybe it was a little bit broken. I don't know, because I refused to go to a doctor. But it was very, very swollen and very, very painful. You know, this kind of things are very painful. And I treated it with the same device. And also the pain was not much. It was supportable. Sometimes I forgot about my leg until I put my until I want to walk. Yeah. But at sitting, for example, sometimes the pain disappears completely. I forgot about my leg. But the same thing after some hours or some, I don't know, some days of putting my leg between these two coils in the same setup, also a Gans appeared in this bottle, in this glass. The color was a little bit different. It means it was more intense greenish, but also it appears, and we had a lot of discussions between the colleagues. What would this be? But we don't know exactly. But very interesting. So yes, it is a yes, for them who wants proofs. It is a proof that everybody's working, everything is working, and it is a very, very good interaction between our bodies, because we are a huge Gans container, yes, and all the plasma devices. So if I want to be very simple in thinking, then I can say this after all we made, all the measurements we did in this meeting, in that meeting, that one conclusion is very clear. All the devices are working very intense with our bodies. The second conclusion we can clearly say it is that it is a very important point to have a clear, I would say, a clear intention. Again, for better results, it needs a little or maybe more concentration in interacting with these devices. So for us, these aspects are very clear. But to put the data together and to have clear results, it's very hard to make it, because for me it's very simple. We are measuring with some materialistic, yes, devices, some occurs, yes, but it's not the correct way to measure, because we are measuring just some fragments of the plasma. We are measuring electrovibration, but this is physicality. We are measuring, I don't know, maybe temperature, maybe, but everything we are measuring with devices. They are basically measuring physicality, and all these devices and all the interaction and all the results mainly are not physicality based. They are our plasma fields based. And at this moment, we don't have some accurate device to measure and to prove the plasma fields and the interactions. So we have to work on this as a whole team, probably in the whole world. But as some of our colleagues say, and it is very, very true at this moment, the most special and accurate measuring tool is the body of the man. We all have this measuring tools in us. We just don't know, a lot of us, to work with it, to hear it, to feel it, to interpret it. Yeah. But the very good, the best tool is the human body, because we are interacting in the plasma level between everything is made on plasma foundation. Yeah, we have a direct contact, we have a direct interaction between ourselves, yes, and any plasma device on the level of fields, on the level of plasma, and not on the level of physicality. That means electro vibration or electromagnetic vibration or temperature. These are just scrambles from the totality. Okay, thank you.
For me, like a subject, plasma it's alive. Give it where it needs and take it where it needs. I'm surely, because I one of the subject interact with your system, and I see the result after and before. And I'm surely. First, I have one, how to say, uh, I want something called feeling in my hands. But I know in this moment I work with field, only with field.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Angelo and Dan. Beautiful. Thank you. I know we have, unless there are any more questions to Angelo's experiments and devices, then you're free to just open a microphone and ask. Okay, so we might be able to move on then to Andreas and John. I know Andreas was saying he would like to address Jalal's experiment again. And Andreas, if you're there, you're more than welcome to say something about Jalal's experiment. Are you there, Andreas?
Yes, hello, here's Andreas from Austria. I hadn't the wish to say something today, but my life goes on, and I heard Jalal today. A lot of questions out of my situation had been answered as a student at the Keshe Foundation, and I found an important point out of my situation which I want to try to explain to everyone out of the plasma technology who makes four-star formations or who want to space travel or who makes medical things for people. The important thing for me, or that what made me to a testimonial, was not physical. I have a family with a 6-year-old son, and the last 3.5 years it was not possible to live at my son's place because we go different ways, the mother and I, and the financial situation haven't made it possible to be at my son's place, so I had to live at my parents. And when I lived at my parents, I had a lot of time for myself, and I had no money, and no car, so I wasn't able to go out or to consume things how I would say it today. And I experienced that the expensive thing in my life is my son. Of course, I am expensive too, but so I was thinking about how I came to my son. I had 70% of handicap as a ID card, and I was fighting for that, to be in Austria, to get money every month for being invalid, and money was a big problem. And after that time, I learned that the money is not important, that the thing is important, that I see my son every month or more, if it's possible, to be just here for him because I'm his nearest human. And 3.5 years I spent my money to drive with the car to him because of the fuel. And I every time ask myself how I will do it to get money to live at his place, to pay for the flat or something like that. And as more and more I grow into the plasma technology and the teachings, and as more I learned, everyone being closer or knowing somebody, I come more and more in the field of peace. And nothing was solved at this time, but the interaction with the mother of my son or with my son, or I still cannot describe that, but I found my inner peace. And so today I'm sitting besides the mother of my son, and I live there in her flat. She has 1 or 2 boyfriends. I don't know if she knows that. Yeah, it is like that. It's much physicality, and I'm just here for my son. That I asked years to get some money from somewhere. I'm 70% handicapped. Today I wouldn't say I'm handicapped because I'm lucky. I live. I can do everything I want. And it was just the trust in the universal love which was showed to me every day more and more and more from everyone to participate in at the Keshe Foundation in teachings here in the public testimonial meeting. And now I'm here and I'm daddy from tomorrow 7 in the morning, making my son ready for the school or helping him with getting ready. And what I'm doing now is when I have listened to Jalal, when he explained the energy through the fingers, it's difficult to describe. I got the message I have to do it through the teachings out of the Keshe Foundation to heal my son over me, over my soul, without cancers. And what is very important for me is the thing when you are crying because you cannot see your son or your child, then you are very sad about that. That's really something which is on your soul every day when you stand up over years. And now I'm here at his place, or every time when I'm seeing everything is okay. But now at his place, I try every day to remember about my sadness, about my fears, about the future when I'm here. And then he, in the evening, lies opposite of me. And I'm touching him. And it's not about the touching to touch him. It's about just that he has his most closest male guy or daddy besides him. And when I hold him at his shoulder when he is getting to sleep, it's not about the physical touch. It's about that we are one plasma or two souls which are here and which can heal every part of the life. And I see, for example, the Spaceship teaching, or I see Jalal, and everything is true what happens in there. What is important for me is, and what I want to say is this love, this unconditional love, what you are feeling with other field, that is what is healing everything. I try to find for myself ways in every aspect how that could help humanity. And it's hard to explain. When I think about the four-star formation, for example, the fields are made, and if this field is my son, for example, who I love endless, then I can go in interaction with him, and there is no fear or no sadness. There's just everything is okay, the pure acceptance. And when I say something now, that's the part that I'm missing at me when I do dynamic reactors. I do not much. Or when a team from the world does the experiments, there's so much about fields, about intensity of the fields, about the distance of the fields. But when I want to heal my son or to speak with his soul, I am in this field. I have a field with him together, and it's not possible every day because my mood is different. But when I wish him, when I say him, I'm here, everything is good, then it has an effect because we are in this field. And I hope my message out of that, because I believe in it, in its true, in this love is understood how I described it yet, because I was asked from Dani if I want to share something, and I had no other choices to say yes, because I feel I have to share this. But this love and this field which is created together, I believe in that my son loses his scars, 30% of his body, and it is happening. It looks every day different. I know I have the support of the overall, or Mr. Keshe, or other beings, I don't know. It helped me to other life without pain, and it helps now a lot of my family, and I trust more and more, and so the skin of my son is changing. And the mother of my son said the same thing 1 hour before this meeting. And what I wanted to say to Jalal, it's a physical thing with the fingers, and it's happening. But when we talk from soul to something, soul is very different and it's everywhere, then more is possible, because I can touch my son, I can massage him with a natural thing out of trees, out of this white tree in Europe. It's called Birke. I don't know the English name for it. And of course, I put my intention him, and the energy is floating through my fingers.
That would be birch tree.
birch tree. And I still don't know, when he's sleeping, I'm speaking with him. I don't know if from the middle of my brain, from my soul to his soul in his brain, and this soul is speaking out of the brain to the heart, to the physical soul. I think I see more my son's soul as a body, or I don't know. I speak with him in the night and I say just I'm here if he needs help, like Giovanni did that in Naomi's presentation. And for me, it's easy to speak with him like that because I have the whole emotion and the whole process of his life in me. And if we make Gans, we make something where we don't have this connection to it. It's the same, but we don't have the same connection to it. And my question to me is how it would be if we can do it with the same connection to everything, because I see it is changing everything. And it's not only about the scars, it's about everything in his life. He gets every day more and more calm and is concentrated on homeworks. And the mother of him, we sit together now and we speak after 3.5 years and we don't fight to each other. Or her friend, I don't know him, but I have nothing against him. Or my parents who are happy. Everything around me or in me changed. And that gives me, it's hard to explain, but to change everything in the physicality too. I have to work on me and I have to think a lot every day, and I'm happy that I have the time too to think about that. That's something I want to give you and the spaceship constructioners and project runners to think about their own soul, because I cannot say I'm a master of that, but I feel and understand how important that is. And I hope I can give an input to everyone of the Keshe Foundation who participate on everything to be able to grow on that. Thank you for listening.
Thank you very much for sharing, Andreas. Sharing your story and experience. Thank you very much for that. And I'm sure it is very valuable for all of us who are trying to get more in contact with our soul and do experiments in that direction. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Andreas. That was beautiful.
Now I know John was on our beautiful list. He was going to speak about water tanks, but he might have computer issues, computer connection problems there for a moment. So if anyone else would like to add something, share something with us, please feel free to do so. We'd love to hear from you. Just open your microphone or send us a text.
Short video.
Sorry, you were saying?
It's a short video with my training wheel.
You'd like to show a video with your training wheels. Did I get that right?
Yes.
Okay, Dan. I think that is okay.
I hope the connection is okay.
Yeah. Flint, is that okay to show a video? I don't know. Is it
live or is it recorded?
It's recorded in my house, yes.
Yeah, sure, go ahead.
Thank you.
Device. It's piece of rope hanging one coil, and with this device I learn how to move, how to concentrate, how to realize control of device. I've done left, anti-clockwise and clockwise with my interaction field. This is only nano-coat without Gans. Oops, I touch it here. Wait. Okay. This is it for now. Sorry for my alarm.
That's okay. Thanks for sharing, Dan. There's a question here in the chat saying, can he move the coils without touching them?
Yes, and first I learning with a piece of paper hanging. One with my mind, two with my field hands, and with intention in my field. Yes, this is la risposta.
Thank you.
Yes.
Do we have more questions for Dan and his experiments? Stefan is asking, have you tried it with your mind and soul?
Yes, yes. First, with my thought, with my mind first. Two, with my release emotion, no, asking, move to the right, move to the left, and after with my visualization, imaginary, my plasma in between my two hands, and connect with the middle of plasma in the inside of coil.
Thank you, Dan.
You're welcome.
Beautiful. Any more questions for Dan before we move on to John?
I want to make a comment.
Yes, please.
After our meeting in Bran, Romania, Dan had the idea to build a similar device with Egeli wheel. I was very impressed about this idea. And he has results.
Yes, that is fantastic. That's, again, something that we all can try and try to use our soul, our mind.
First, my inspiration is Gerard. When I explain how to make the field after confirmation in Bran, Romania, when I playing with my colleague with Egli Rod, and when I get right home, I make this choice.
The cheapest device.
Yes, this is the device we are talking about, for who don't know. And yes, in our meeting we had very interesting results handling with this device, because we were able to rotate this wheel, yes, this, clockwise or anti-clockwise, with the power of our intention, with the power of our mind and soul. It was very, very interesting. So yes, it is an interesting experiment to do it, everybody, and they can, with this experiment, we can teach ourselves to improve our concentration and our willing, if I can say. Sorry for the interruption.
Wonderful, thank you. So your intention was to have the coil moving, is that correct? Your thoughts?
Yes, it's my interaction of my soul, my intention, my mind, moving plasma, not only coil like a matter, but for confirmation, for visualization first. I chose this way for understanding better how to interact, how to control.
Excellent, thank you very much there. Beautiful. Now I see John is back, and I know John would like to talk about his water tanks. Is that correct, John? Can you hear us?
Yes, I was getting ready. I'm having problems with my computer. It may drop out any moment.
Okay.
Yes, for the last 2 years, I've been producing about between 50 and 70 liters of Gans water a day, which people take away from my hands in such a rate that I've been remaining with practically no water left. So one of my clients, let's put it this way, brought another tank, a 500-liter tank. So this weekend I've connected all this up, and so now I can produce about 250 liters a day. So that is, I think, says quite a bit. The people are taking the water in such a rate that I've had to put my production further up with my limits. But that's how I keep myself busy all day, and with the classes, the teachings. But well, that's what we're trying to help the people out here. I don't know if you as for the Gans, I've got to get down to producing some more Gans because I put the same Gans I had in the other tank into the bigger one, but I hope to make some better quality Gans, more quantity and different types. So we'll see in the future. You'll get more news about all this. I don't know if anybody has any question about all this. I haven't got any pictures of the new tank yet, but you've had pictures of my previous one beforehand.
Yes, I remember them before, and you had quite a huge amount of Gans water you were producing every day, and having a lot of people coming to pick it up every night, isn't it? Is that correct?
Yeah, all night, all day, all continually. They keep me busy all the time.
That's beautiful, wonderful.
So all the water that goes down the drain should clean all the ground all around here. So we see what happens.
Thank you for sharing, John.
Oh, it's a pleasure.
Great. Do we have any questions for John or anything to add? Or
The Gans water or water of Gans?
Well, I consider it's the same thing. Gans water or water Gans. It's water which is produced on top of the Gans, CO2 and zinc oxide Gans. I keep the Gans inside glass jars, not covered up, so it won't spread down on the bottom of the tank. And so between the different jars, you have an interaction of the fields, which helps plasmify the water.
Yes, I understand. It's like a joke. You make water of nothing, or you make totally with water. I understand where you work with CO2 and zinc oxide Gans and plasmatite energize water, no transfer of field, and this water become water with property of.
Yeah, well, yes, so plasma water we should call it, I suppose. In Spanish we call it plasma water, because if you talk to the people about Gans, they have no idea what that is. Some people, I explain the whole process to them, but I imagine in the future we'll have several people helping me out and producing some more water here. As for the water, I use natural fountain water. I don't go to distilled water because first I wouldn't be able to get the quantities I use, and secondly the cost would be very high. So I've got very good fountain water here, natural fountain water. I've got 7 different fountains which produce. They continually have a 3.5-inch pipe of water coming out continually. So I got a lot of natural water to deal with.
Thank you for asking.
No, it's a pleasure. Whatever other answer. I've got some pictures of my old tank, which I've shown before. I don't know if you want to see some of those, but I keep the Gans in these glass jars without a cover on them, so they're in contact with the water. And every time I fill the tank up, I stir the Gans inside the jars, so there is an interaction between the Gans and the water there.
You're making Gans in the Gans.
Exactly, yeah.
It's like a transfer of field of energy. Banana in water, water in banana.
Well, we hope to do all this with our souls in the future. So we'll see what our experiences, how we progress with our different experiences. Well, according to Mr. Keshe, we should forget about doing all these accessory material things and get down to doing it all with our spirit, our soul, shouldn't we?
Plasma containing self, no, without water, without wires, without matter. You see, you say somebody else, take this field if you need.
Yeah. Or produce several ping pong balls with the plasma inside, the plasma fields, and give them the ping pong balls. See what happens. That would be a nice experience.
Thank you. I have questions here in the chat saying, can I also use water? Can I also use the water for food Gans? The Gans water is meant.
I find the best thing is you can use the Gans water for food, for Gans food, for producing new Gans, because it makes the Gans the Gans production start instantaneously practically. And as you're already using energized water, you're helping the whole process in a very much better way.
Thank you, John. We have also a question from YouTube. Maybe you can all help me to answer that one because we're not quite sure when it came in, so we don't know who it was being addressed to. Natasha is asking, experience treating bacterial infections like H. pylori? Question mark. That is unfortunately all we have, but
Want to repeat that?
if anyone feels he or she has an answer on that one.
Your access was
Sorry.
faulty.
Oh, thank you. Yes, sorry, my connection was bad. The question from Natasha was, experience treating bacterial infections like H. pylori? Question mark. So we're not quite sure who that question was addressed to, but if anyone has an answer to that. Sorry, Natasha, we don't seem to have an answer for that. But
well, isn't CuO supposed to be good for that? CuO water? Bacteria?
Yeah, well, maybe put a bit of Cu, yes, copper oxide water, a few drops of copper oxide into the Gans water to treat those infections, normally bacteria and what have you.
Hi, this is Estela. John, can you, when you said 1 drop in the water you're gonna drink, when the container where you have the other gun, the CO?
I would start spraying the whatever bacterial infection, if that's on the skin, treat it with spraying water and adding some drops of Cu or copper oxide water in the mixture. because we're told that is bactericida, whatever it is in English, and but we shouldn't overdo it with copper oxide, should we?
Well, in the case of the pylori infection is in the stomach, so that's why maybe it's better to do the Gans water and have the COU in the Gans container specific for that treatment, but do not to drink it, because
yeah, so use the copper oxide in pads, put one in front and one behind the stomach.
Not drinking. One my colleague I have he have nasty experience with plasma of copper oxide. Don't try to drinking, only for external.
Only external use, yes. There's a lot to be experimented first about the copper oxide. Don't only use outside. Some people have used it in the water, but there's a hell of a lot to learn from it yet.
Yes, thank you. I was just looking up the H. pylori. It says it's a type of bacteria. These germs can enter your body and live in your digestive tract. After many years, they can cause sores called ulcers in the lining of your stomach or the upper part of your small intestine. For some people, an infection can lead to stomach cancer. So
it must be something like the Taenia saginata, the lombriz solitaria, the solitary worm, whatever it's called in English.
I don't know. It's
tapeworm.
Tapeworm.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah, it must be similar to that.
And I wouldn't know. This one says it's a bacteria. It's a germ. But then again, I'm not a medical practitioner. I wouldn't.
H is the short form from Helicobacter, which means it's a helix shape, helicoidal shape. Bacter and pylori, it means the location, the entrance of the stomach.
Thank you for clarifying that.
Okay, it's a Helicobacter pylori. Doctors have special tests to detect that, and in case if they detect in time and they apply the right treatment, antibiotics which are specific in that case, it can save people of many years of pain.
Change environment, change condition, no? Equilibrium.
Good point. Thank you. No, I just like to remind everyone that the Keshe Foundation is not giving out any medical advice, and just to be aware of that, we can share our experience, but we are not giving out any medical advice. So just keep that in mind, please. Thank you for sharing.
Now, what we can say is we're straightening out your emotional body.
Yes. Bringing the body back into balance. Yes, that is a good advice. Absolutely. Thank you. Do we have anyone else?
Danny,
Sorry?
have you managed to see that video I put up this morning?
I haven't been able to watch it, but where it was somebody with missing brain or something. Yeah.
Exactly. Half of the whole of his right brain is missing. That's incredible how he's lived for many years already. They gave him 2 hours of life when he was born, and he's, well, by the looks of it, he's over 20 years old.
Yeah, some of it is very interesting, and he probably has more brains than some other humans on this planet.
The interesting is it goes to show that the fields are what governs the whole thing. The brain is not there, but the fields are there.
Yes, that is an interesting point. Thank you. Thank you, John. Do we have more questions for John, or anyone like to add anything? Please feel free to do so.
Hello, here's Andreas again.
Yes, Andreas.
For me, that is so hard to describe and undiscovered for me. But what I want to say when I lie together with my son in the bed, and I asked him last time when we spoke nothing, hey, do you feel that? And I meant this unconditional love, this just being happy because somebody's here you love. And he said just yes, and was totally in love and happy with everything. And what I want to say is, if we get the same feeling with a four-star formation or with the Gans, then we make one field, for example, for a space travel. And in this feeling, there is nothing, no other depths, or it's very clear, this feeling, and I'm training on that. So when I'm in this feeling with my son, when he's sleeping or when he's awake, when he's awake, I use words, and I try to find every time the right words. But when he's sleeping, and I'm in the right field strength, I don't speak to him in his mind or his body. I speak to him to his soul. And that's very difficult to explain, but for me that is the point where we can link to every thing what we are doing. More I cannot say to that, but there is an answer in it just because I feel it.
Thank you, Andreas. Thank you all for sharing. Do we have anyone else?
Danny?
Yes.
Danny? This is Jeanette.
Hi, Jeanette.
How are you?
Very good. Thank you, Jeanette. It's great to hear you.
Thank you. I just wanted to share my experiences with the copper oxide. I have used the Gans, the plasma water, in my eye to cure conjunctivitis or pink eye. And I have been successful in doing it. I put a drop like every hour and a half, and I have been able to control it. I have also tried the plasma water of CO2, and once my eye burst. So I guess that it was, maybe I needed to dilute it in a less strong strength, maybe 50-50, 50 water, 50 plasma water, because that time I got my eye bled. So, but with the copper oxide, I have been successful in treating my conjunctivitis. Also, I have taken the copper oxide when I have a flu, and the only thing is that I take then lactobacillus, which is like the flora, for the flora, because the copper oxide can kill the good bacteria too. So I have used it, and for me has been a good outcome.
Thank you, Jeanette. And can you tell us what ratio you used?
I've used the strength that it comes right out of the bottle. I have not diluted it, just the water that I take out of my jar with the Gans. The only time that I had issues was with the CO2 straight on my eye, and I asked Dr. Vildosol, and he told me to maybe dilute it 50-50 because it could have been too strong. I have also treated my dog because they had issues with the mouth. I had a dog that had a strong cavity, but it had gone into stage 4 of cavity, and he was bleeding the gums. I was using a mixture of 50% CO2, about 30% zinc, and 20% oxide, and bleeding stopped, and the swellingness of his gums really. So copper oxide it's good. It's supposed to heal fungus, bacteria.
Jeanette? I think
that was a time because, okay, there we go. It's supposed to balance, would be the right word without causing any problems. It's supposed to balance. Just a heads up.
Okay, thanks. Yeah, at the video, I think we lost it there.
You're breaking up, Jeanette.
Sorry, Jeanette, you're very hard to, you're not to hear at all at the moment. So maybe you'll be able to get back. In the meantime, I see we have another question from YouTube, from Arno. He's saying, I'm making Gans. When I get close, I taste it. If I use smaller plate with nano copper, is the field of the process smaller? I'm not sure what that means. If anyone understands, please feel free to answer that. He's making Gans, and when he's getting close, he's tasting it. If I use smaller plate with nano copper, is the field of the process smaller? Sorry, that is all I can read here.
That might be process. Is the field of the process, maybe? I don't know. But how did he spell that?
Process.
Yeah, it's just a general question. If you change your plate size, is the field size smaller?
Oh, okay. Well, I can't be answering that. Anyone?
I believe the size of your copper plates does not really matter. So when I'm making Gans into a smaller 1 liter container with an 8 centimeter plate, or when I make a 6 liter container with a 20 centimeter plate, I see no difference, and even the quantity is not always bigger for the bigger container. And one advice, never taste the Gans, never touch the Gans. Use 2 pairs of medical gloves at least when you're working with it. Don't touch it. You are not supposed to ingest it or to touch it. You only can use after you wash it out of the salts with diluting it several times with water, leaving it to settle. You take only the upper 1/3 of the water that you can use. So it depends on the application, but never eat, never drink, never consume Gans, and never touch it if possible.
Thank you for clarifying that, Sandro.
Yeah, Mr. Keshe told repeatedly, Gans particles are like how to say, a power central. If you need a 50 watts power lamp in your house, you don't bring the whole nuclear power plant in your house, don't you? Then you don't put that big energy source into your body.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
There's one more question here in the chat saying, what is best, nano coating with caustic or fire?
Best results are with properly done nano coating with caustic. You can find the description of process in several places on Wiki, for instance. I also put it on my Facebook page in the notes. When you do that, never use aluminum. That's important. And once you finish the nano coating, it's a several weeks process. You have to wash it, and wash it. So you have to rinse it in clean distilled water several times. You can check with a pH meter to get a pH of 7 at the last washing water to remove all the caustic. So you do that before to use it. But in case if you cannot wait for several weeks, you need urgently, you can just nano coat by fire. But nano coating by fire, it's a little bit of art. You have to know by the color of the copper to not overheat it, otherwise what you create on it, nano layers will fall off. So you have to heat up to 600, 650 centigrades and not more. So if the copper would go red, it means your nano coating will not succeed. You will make it black, but that blackness will fall off. You have to train to move at a constant pace your hand with the flame, with the torch, like when you are painting an aquarelle, to keep the same golden shiny color of the heated metal while you do the process, and repeat it maybe 4 or 5 times or more to get a nano coating, and that you can use it also for making Gans. Of course, the tear strength of the nano coating by fire and nano coating by caustic will be slightly different. But it's a way to use the nano coating with fire if you are in places where you cannot get caustic, or if you are in a hurry and you cannot get the proper process to be done. So there are many ways of nano coating, by the way. So you can choose whatever is available. If you make Gans with nano coated copper pieces which are nano coated by fire, take care to not use too much salt, maybe 3% by weight of the water, it's fine. And if you see the nano coating goes off, because it goes off easier, it's a very thin layer, then you can take it out to nano coat it again with fire and to put it back to work. So I explained that when it was the case of emergency solutions for places with disasters, like it was in Puerto Rico, Dominica, and so on, after the hurricanes, tornadoes.
Thank you,
It's
Chandra.
important to learn, you use it, you practice, and what you produce, you make it a gift to somebody, and then the next gift is to teach. If he can have good results and he's happy with it, don't just provide the Gans, but teach people how to make the Gans. Don't give them a fish if they are hungry. Teach them how to fish. That's the way.
Yeah, wonderful.
By the way,
thank you.
I have a family member who knows since years that, okay, I'm occupied in most of my time with this volunteering work, foundation, and so on. And one time now she had an eye problem, and the cream which she got from the doctors didn't help. She just touched with dirty hands her left eye and got a redness and an inflammation, probably a conjunctivitis, and it didn't went off with the available creams from the pharmacy. So I suggested to use zinc oxide, copper oxide, plasma water, which I prepared and I'm still preparing every day to have it fresh. And she just used a piece of cotton pad and to put it as a compress on the closed eye. And doing that for 2-3 times a day, now condition is stable and is getting better. And the surprise was that after 3 days, she asked me, "Oh, I have a pain in my knee. May I put that pad there too? Can I use it? Because I feel that it brings the pain away." Yes, of course. Next day, can I use it for my hurting shoulder? Yes, of course. It doesn't do any harm. And don't forget, it's just a plasma water, so it's without any Gans. It just took the energy from the Gans. It got a new structure due to interaction with Gans, and if you test it chemically, it's just pure water. So that was my say.
Excellent, thank you, Chandra. Very good.
Hello.
Hello.
This is Marius from Romania, and I would also like to share a few of my experiences with Gans and also helping others with this plasma technology. I think the most important case I have been involved in was regarding an ex-colleague of mine at work. She had a hepatitis. In 2008, she was diagnosed with autoimmune hepatitis, and she tried many treatments with both how to say natural treatment and medical treatment, as in she was taking Ursolfolk for many years, and neither of them were showing any progress or any help in her being more healthy. She also was hospitalized for a while, and at the beginning of this year, I have given to her plasma water and CO2 and zinc patch. So just these two. The water was put into a container, and inside that container had another container filled with plasma water of CO2 and zinc oxide gas. So I didn't even put the gas inside, just the plasma water. And she needed to fill it with water and leave it for a few hours to get a few properties from the gas inside the receipt, and consume it afterwards. And on the 3rd of March, she went to the doctor for a new analysis session, and she told me very happy that the results were very, very good. And I have a few documents from her, a few photos taken by phone of the analysis or documents before and after. So if I may share screens, or
Sure, no problem. Just hit screen share.
yeah, I am sorry in advance for the low quality pictures because she took the pictures with her phone. 1 second to find the share. Okay, so I think this is actually this is the last picture she sent me with the results, and I have many pictures with different medical analysis since 2015. Actually, I have even older from her, even older documents. Not very clear. Maybe if I zoom in on my phone, I can see a bit more. But I find this cases, these values here, not to be as good for her. So this is a more clear picture. I'm not very good at interpreting this, but
Marius,
yes,
I would be very careful. Try not to reveal her name on there.
I actually asked her.
Oh, perfect. Thank you.
And she said she's okay with that. Actually, she can answer to more questions if she's asked. If
Beautiful.
needed.
Thank you.
So otherwise, I wouldn't place her name here. Okay. Have more scans. Actually, this is the result from 1st of March 2018. So it's not very clear. I will ask her to make proper scans and send me, and then if you want to make a clear documentation of this case, we can also add the files onto the Keshe Foundation testimonials. Or I can send you these pictures, but sorry again for the low quality of most of them. This one is from 2014. It's not as good values in here. And she was very happy with the results, and also she was giving this plasma waters, and I have taught her to make patches, and she made patches for her older parents, and those patches worked incredibly for them. They took back pain, they regulated the blood pressure, and she had very, very good results. Another interesting case of an ex, how to say, neighbor. She had acne, I think that's called. And this acne, she tried to treat her, to treat it as well for many years with almost no results. And I have given her same one CO2 and zinc oxide patch. And funny was that she got the tissues, the wet tissues from the patch, and she put the tissues on her face. But unfortunately, the tissues dried, and there was no water into the tissues. But when it got dried on her face and on her neck, there was no problem of the skin, so her acne disappeared. And I have a few more cases. My personal experience was diverse in the last year. With copper oxide patches, I have removed infection from my teeth, as well my wife's teeth. With CH3 patches, I have recovered from muscular injuries because I go and play football a lot, and with muscular injuries, I could not move my leg without severe pain. And in about 3 days using this CH3 patch, I was completely healed, and I was able to go to football in the next weekend as well, and fully recovered, and gave 100% in my activity there. Also, I have a friend who stepped me on my toe, and in the next day I was please let me translate this, because I don't know how to translate. I was livid. I have a livid finger. Is that correct?
Livid is usually an emotion.
No, I have a livid toe.
Okay, swollen toe?
I think so, yes, yes.
Okay.
It wasn't looking very good. And I firstly covered it with the CO2 and zinc patch, and over it, on top, I put the CH3 Gans patch. And in about 3 or 4 days, my toe was almost fully recovered. There was no lividness, if it's okay, the term, not sure. I still feel a very, very small pain, but very small pain when I bend the toe and force it to be as I don't know the term right now, and that
You're doing a great job, Marius. Very good job. So no problem. We understand. And I think the word is bruised. A bruised, B-R-U-I-S-E-D, toe. Did it turn purple and red and?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, that's correct. Yes, yes, and yes, this and spraying. By the way, spraying CO2 and zinc oxide patch water, sorry, on my skin actually removes some skin problems. And leaves a very, very smooth skin, and it's very, very good, and removes some problems for me. Yeah, so that's almost about it. It's all I can say for now. I have many other small cases, but those are the greatest that I can come up with right now.
Excellent. Thank you very much, Marius, for sharing that with us.
Thank you as well.
Very much appreciated. And I see we have a few more questions here. And I'll just read that question from Luca. Luca was asking, when I nanocoat my copper plates, I get some strange colors. Is that normal? And I would like to say that all of you who have questions like that, there are some beautiful informations on the websites. You will find more information, for example, on kfwiki.org. That is kfwiki.org, or on kfssi.org, kfssi.org, or on keshefoundation.org. So I'll post those links now again in the chat, and I would urge you to look it up, and you're probably going to find the answers you were looking for, and might even decide to join the Keshe Foundation, the students. Beautiful crowd, and you will have a lot of fun there, and we'll have a lot of questions answered. So forgive me if we don't go into those details now, because the information has already gone out and is available even in testimonial meetings. So Luca, if you look for more, please check the websites. Just see if we had another question here. Somebody, Stefan is asking, what can I do with the aminos on the top of the Gans water? Stefan, same goes for you. There's wonderful information on those links, and there's probably more than you wanted to know. There's a ton of information, and it's really worth looking at it. So thank you very much for your questions. And I think we're going to close soon. The next international testimonial meeting in all languages will be, if I'm correct, the 25th of June. Is that right, Flint or Libby? The fourth Monday of the month.
Oh, we're moving it to the fourth Monday now?
Oh, sorry, it's the second. It's the
Yes,
German on the fourth.
The
I'm
German
so
one's
sorry.
the fourth Monday. So it'll be on the 11th.
Oh, thank you very much. So sorry about that. So it is the 11th for the international testimonial meeting.
Yeah.
And then 11th of June, beautiful. So it's 8 p.m. Central European Summertime, CEST. And yes, I thank everyone for participating. It was beautiful. Thank you so much. We've learned a lot, and I would like to hear more from you. So please keep experimenting and writing down your results, and please do put them onto the website as a testimonial. We really like to see them. And I thank the hosts, Willie Westley, Elizabeth von Dreunen, and Flint Mulhausen, and myself, Danny Moe. It was a pleasure to be with you. Thank you very, very much.
Thank you, Danny.
Thank you, Danny.
Thank you, Danny. And I would like to say only one thing. Please, guys, do not only listen, but do it. Do all these cancers, these fields, these experiments. Experiment yourself and give us feedback. Thank you.
Believe in yourself to everyone.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you. The box is full.
Thank you all.
Flint, are you closing the room or am I?
Yes. Okay. Just have to wait here for YouTube.
Oh, okay.
Just wait here for a little while. Thank you.
Give you feedback in the fingers. Raise temperature from 18.4 to 19.2 in 2 minutes. Thank you.
Hot stuff.
Thanks, Shalal. The last testimonial for tonight.
Yeah, I was saying please be quiet so I can end the YouTube stream. I have YouTube streams about a minute behind.